I would like to start by saying thank you Gobblers 2 for sponsoring this video. We are very close to the release date of the new expansion End of Dragons, with the release day being 28th of February. And so today, we will learn how to prepare ourselves for the expansion, and we will talk about the current state of some of Guild Wars 2 content, and what changes should we expect with them after the expansion is released. End of Dragons will come with 9 elite specializations, 1 for each class. To unlock the new elite specializations, you will need a total of 250 hero points. And so, if you can, try to get enough hero points to unlock the new elite specializations immediately when End of Dragons is released. The best way to get hero points very quickly is by doing the different hero challenges in Heart of Stones and Pacifier maps, because doing each one of them will give you a total of 10 hero points. Most of them are very easy to reach and solo, and only few of them will require some help in terms of the fight, or maybe you will need someone to teleport you to that location. There is a very high chance that the hero challenges on the new End of Dragon maps will work the exact same way, and so it shouldn't take you so long, and you will find the majority of Guild Wars 2 players very active on those new maps, and you will always have enough people around to do hero points with. You can also open the LFG tool by pressing Y or clicking on this icon, and you want to find squads that will be doing hero points. You can find them under the Pacifier and Heart of Stone maps, and there will for sure be a new section added for the End of Dragon maps as well when the expansion is released. If you do Wold vs Wold, you will find in each one of the borderlands a vendor called Heroics Notary, and they will have this scroll icon on the map. When you talk to the vendor, they will sell the notarized scrolls of Maguma Heroics and Desert Heroics. Maguma Heroics are for Heart of Stones maps. This will unlock any hero challenge randomly that you have not unlocked yet, and it will give you a total of 10 hero points. Desert Heroics will work the exact same way, but they will work on Pacifier maps. The Scroll of Heroics work the exact same way, but on the core Teria maps, and those will only give you 1 hero point. To buy those heroics, you will need a currency called Testimony of Heroics, which is something you will get very often while you are doing normal things in Wold vs Wold. If you didn't have enough, you can get more of them from the skirmish chests, which is another thing you will get very often in Wold vs Wold. Each chest will give you a chance to buy 6 testimonies of heroics. End of Dragons will come with a lot of new masteries, and most of them will be things we can use across the entire game, not just in the new maps, and so we will need to unlock those masteries as soon as we can. To unlock any of the masteries, you will need mastery points, which you will get from various sources, and you will also need experience, and you can see the amount of experience you have and how much more do you need for the next mastery in the bar at the bottom of your screen. You can significantly increase the amount of experience you will get that will add up to your mastery, and so now let's look at those sources. We will start with the guild enhancement vendor, which you can find inside the guild tavern in any guild hall. One of the options the vendor will sell is the guild XP gain. The amount of experience boost you get depends on how high your guild level is, with the maximum being 10. Once you buy that item, you will have a buff on your bar that will increase your experience by 10%, and this buff will remain there until you come to the guild enhancement vendor again and choose a different buff from here. Another good source of extra experience are the various boosters, and those are items you will get as you play the game normally, so check your inventory and bank to see if you have any of them. We will start with the celebration booster. This will give you a total of 100% boost to the experience you get from kills. Killing mobs and getting experience from them is one of the main sources you will fill up your XP bar, which will enable you to progress and get more masteries. Birthday booster and celebration booster gives the exact same effects. The difference is that celebration will last for 1 hour and the birthday booster will last for 1 day, and we are talking a full 24 hours of in-game time. So when you log out, for example, it will stop counting and it will only count when you are on the character that has that booster. Experience booster will give you 50% extra XP from all the sources in-game, but even more important, as you kill mobs, it will activate something called Kill Streak, which will give you a maximum of 100% extra bonus XP from killing mobs. Heroic Booster will give you a lot of benefits, including the exact same ones you get from Experience Booster, so look for one or the other. Both of them will last for 2 hours, with Heroic Booster giving you more benefits. You can also buy the Experience Booster and the Heroic Booster from the gem store, and they are not too expensive to get, and plenty of times you will find some sort of a sale on them as well. You can also buy experience booster using your laurels, but the booster you will buy with laurels will last only for 30 minutes. There are plenty of laurel vendors that you will find spread across the major cities and passes, but if you didn't know the location of one of them, there is an easy one you can get to right in front of the Commodore Quarter waypoint, which you will find in Lion's Arch. You can get the same benefits from the experience booster by using the candy corn gobbler, which is an item you can buy from the gem store only during the Halloween festival. There is another booster called Black Lion Booster, and you can buy it using one Black Lion statuette, which is one of the guaranteed drops when you open any Black Lion chest. This booster will last for 30 minutes, and it will give you an extra 50% XP from killing mobs. There are plenty of vendors in major cities and passes, but the easiest place will be inside the same building that will have the trading post, and this can also be found in Lion's Arch. Almost every food and utility that you can craft or buy from the trading post will give you at least 10% XP from killing mobs. There are few exceptions for both that will give you 15%. Soul pastry is a very cheap food you can buy, and it will give you 15% XP from kills. And for the utilities, powerful potion of slaying scarlet armies will also give you 15% XP from kills. Those are not the only options, and you will find more on the trading post, but those are the most common and for a reasonable price on the trading post. Another option is the ascended food that you will find a lot of people dropping all across the maps. Anytime you take the ascended food, it will give you a bunch of benefits, including 5% for all experience gained. Normal food will give you at least 10%, but this will be experience from kills, while ascended food will give you 5% from all sources of XP, not just kills. Another item you can buy is a lucky Draketail. This will give you extra 5% bonus XP from the kills. To get the buff, just double click on the item. It will give you that skill. You can just light the firecracker, or you can also just drop the bundle and it will give you the buff. Another thing you can do is you can mount up and then use the item as you are mounted up, and it will still stack up on the buff. Each time you consume it, it will give you 5 minutes, and it can stack up to a maximum of 2 hours. So make sure you don't consume too much, otherwise it will be a waste. If you have the Snowflake Gobbler, which is an item you can buy from the gem store only during the Winter's Day festival, and there's another similar item called Zyvity Gobbler, which you can buy during the Dragon Bash festival. Both of them will work in a very similar way. There will be an item you can buy with either snowflakes or piece of Zyvity, and when you buy this item, you will either get a Winter's Day gift or Zyvity items, or you will get this buff which is called a Festival Gobbler Boost. This will last for 15 minutes every time, and it can stack up for more, and when you have this buff, it will give you an extra 25% XP from kills. Hero's Banner is a very common item that you will find dropped in major cities and lots of other maps, especially when there is some sort of a meta or big chain of events, and most likely you will find a lot of them spread in the End of Dragon maps. When you interact with the banner, it will give you a bunch of benefits, including the Guild Experience Banner Boost, which will increase the experience you get from kills by an extra 15%. If you want to buy the banners and drop them yourself, you can craft them using a scribe, or go to the guild hall and talk to the guild commendation vendor, and then you can buy 3 guild heroes banner for 10 silver and 3 guild commendations, which is the currency you get when you do guild missions. Another item you can buy from the Laurel vendor is called Experienced Enrichment, and you will find it in the second tab where it says Ascended Gear. Just scroll all the way down and you will find a bunch of infusions and enrichments. This enrichment will give you a total of 20% experience from kills. You can only equip enrichments in amulets, and they have to be either ascended or legendary. You cannot equip it in any other piece, including any other legendary piece, and you cannot equip it on any amulet that is not at least ascended. There are also few other sources that will come from map events and vendors, and I am sure we will find a couple of them in the End of Dragon maps. To just pay attention to the events and the hearts that you are doing, because some of them may give you some sort of a buff that will increase your XP gain. Next, you will want to make sure you have the gear you need for any new elite specialization you plan to try. And one of the best things about Guild Wars 2 is that it gives you multiple options to get gear from, and most of them are pretty straightforward and easy, and they will not take too much time. I have plenty of guides that cover all of that in details from all the various different sources. You will find a full playlist for them in the comments and description. And of course, you want to make sure you save up enough gold to buy any new items you will potentially want with the release of the expansion. There are plenty of ways you can make a very decent amount of gold in Guild Wars 2, and a lot of them do not require any help from other players and don't take that much time either. I have plenty of gold making guides for all kind of stuff, whether it is solo or group content. I will leave the playlist for it in the comments and description. Now, let's talk about the current state of some of Guild Wars 2 content and what it will look like after the expansion. World bosses and big meta events in open world are one of the most popular content you can currently do in Guild Wars 2. You can make a lot of gold from them and get other valuable items like infusions, for example. End of Dragons will bring with it a lot of new players to the game, and a lot of players that have been previously on a break will return to Guild Wars 2. And I think what you will see happening is that those metas and world bosses will actually become even more popular, and you will find more people doing them, because everyone will still want to make gold and everyone will still want those valuable items. There is also a very high chance that End of Dragon maps will bring with it some extra world bosses and meta events that will add to that list. As for group content, especially Fractals, strike missions and raids, there was a recent post made by ANET that mentioned some of the changes to the reward system that will be applied with End of Dragons. I made another video where we covered all those changes in details, and you will find a link for it in the comments and description. But for me personally, I like all of those changes because they make all of those three content, Fractals, strike missions and raids, work together very well to provide more sources for players to get mystic coins and mystic clovers amongst other items, which are a requirement for any kind of legendary gear you want. And that will most likely include the new legendaries that will be released with End of Dragons. And so overall what that means is that everyone will have more sources to get the items you need for your legendaries. And those legendary items are not only good for fashion, but they are also extremely valuable in terms of gearing up your characters and the way they help you with changing builds with just few clicks. And this is because of the armory feature, and if you don't know the full benefits of that feature, I have another guide that covers that in detail. You will see the link for it in the comments and description. This is definitely going to encourage more players to do those group content, especially strike missions, because ANET stated that their goal with the new strike missions that will come with End of Dragons will be to make fun and engaging content that will enable the squad to work together to get the kill and the full rewards, but at the same time without it being too hard. Especially when they add challenge modes to them, things will start getting a little bit more interesting and a little bit harder, and of course more rewards, but they can also be a very good stepping stone for people to start doing raids more often. For me personally, those changes to the reward system of the group content are one of the most things I'm excited for with End of Dragons, and I have no doubt that we're going to see a positive impact in terms of the number of people doing those group content and working on their legendaries and rewards. I would like to know in the comments below, what are you most excited for with the release of End of Dragons? And if you haven't bought it yet and you would like to, you will find a link for the official webpage in the comments and description. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.